I've been playing World of Warship on my Mac, and the Mac is just not cut out to be a gaming machine. So I'm looking to buy a low end PC so that I can play a game with. So I'm not looking for a very low end like $600 or $700. I'm looking for like maybe the next tier up. So maybe around $1,000 to $1,200. This is one I bought, and let me go through the specs with you. Give you a review of the unit, and then also the pros and cons. So here's a list of the detailed spec for the system, and CyberPowerPC actually doesn't provide some of the details like what brand make these components. So let me just provide what I found in my unit. The case, it is a CyberPowerPC branded mid tower. They probably buy it from somebody else, but they put their name on it. For the CPU, it is a Core i7 9700. It is a ninth generation, so it's a couple generations old. But for this price, this chip actually performs well. For the motherboard, CyberPower just lists B360M. And on YouTube, you can see that most likely this is a ASRock. And actually, when I open up the case, it is ASRock B360 Xtreme, and it's specifically built for CyberPower. This Xtreme board, if you go to ASRock's webpage, you actually cannot find this particular model. Obviously, B360M, that's a chipset to be used for the Intel chip, 9th generation. But yeah, the Xtreme model actually doesn't exist. It is 8 gigabyte times 2, so that's 16 gigabytes total. It is Geil, Geil, Evo Potenza, and that's a DDR4 3 gigahertz. As for the video card, it is a Gigabyte branded, and the chipset is GeForce GTX 1660 Super with 6 gig of memory. As for the SSD, there's actually no information on the SSD other than it is 512 gigabytes, and you cannot tell how fast it is. But when I open up the case, it is XPG. The model number is ASX 8100 MP, and it has a read and write of 3500 and 3000, so it's actually quite fast. Well, obviously, this is not where I use a computer, but because it's kind of dark in my room, I thought I'll just bring it outside. It's brighter, and it show up better in the video. So the case is like this mid-tower case. It has two sides. One side is made of glass. The other side is made of metal, so kind of typical. Both of the two sides can be removed. And the front is also made of glass. And it has 3 fans in the front. You can see it through the glass here. Now I'll open up, you can see better. And there's 1 fan in the rear. It looks kind of cool. When you power it up, it has like the fans will light up. However, after I got it, I realized you actually cannot install an external bay. So for instance, if you want the DVD optical drive or writer, somewhere in the front, actually the fan is actually blocking all that area, and of course this case, right, the front is glass. It's not designed to have different bays here. So yeah, that's that's what you get for this kind of entry level. So I'll show you what's inside, and there's a little bit of expandability, but just for external bays, for drives and so forth, it's not possible with this unit. So in terms of expandability, this case is very different than what I'm used to previously. I haven't used a PC for like 10 years. So previously a lot of the cases will have like bays, right? Bays for the 5-inch, 3.5, and 2.5. And with a base, you can buy brackets, to install your hard drive. Well, obviously, if it's like 5.5, you just install the DVD drive directly. If it's 3.5, you just install the 3.5-inch hard drive directly. But if you have like a smaller 2.5-inch hard drive, you'll have to buy a bracket. So in this case, what they have is they have these plates. So on these plates, there's a screw and multiple screw holes. And this is how you mount the additional accessories. So you can mount two smaller devices, and let me show you the other side. Okay, here is the right side of the computer. This is the front over here, the rear is over here, and this is the right side. So there's two additional plates, and this is for 3.5 inch. So I went ahead and mounted a couple hard drives I had from years ago. I mean, this is like one 1 terabyte and 750 gigabyte. These are probably like more than 10 years old, but I'm going to use them as accessory hard drive. I also have external hard drive, so this will be like additional third and fourth storage. This computer actually has plenty of room, and unfortunately you just have 4 slots for additional internal devices. And this whole area here is basically left open. So I am thinking about using a bracket from my old computer and probably drill some holes into this plate and basically mount that bracket so I can install more devices. CyberPowerPC website, they are not very specific on the model they use for the components and how many ports or accessories that's included. So kind of have to just buy it on faith and then hope everything is what you need. Whereas on some of the competing either pre-built or customizing PC vendor websites, they actually tell you more detail. So let me just show you what they have here. So from the motherboard, it has a HDMI output, a Type-C, USB-C, which I find surprising. I didn't know they will have a Type-C. And then there's 5 USB, an Ethernet, and then 3 audio for mic, line out, and speaker. Now, of course, this HDMI, you won't be using it if you have a graphics card. So this GeForce GTX 1660 made by Gigabyte has 4 output. Now, I don't think all 4 can be used at the same time. I don't know the spec of that. But you have 3 display port and 1 HDMI. It actually looks pretty cool. So, on the side, there's a glass, so you can see into it. And, these fans, they do light up. Now, maybe right now it's just a novelty, right? Because I don't have a computer that kind of have, these LED lights. So right now, you at least see look kind of cool. So this one does come with a mouse and a keyboard. Both are pretty crappy. So this is a mouse. They call it gaming mouse. It has, I believe, 9 buttons, right? However, I don't find any software that I can use from CyberPowerPC that I can use to customize or program these buttons. So basically, I don't know how useful this will be. Another one is this mouse came defective. So the two buttons on top are broken on arrival. So basically, the mouse still works, except these 2 top buttons doesn't work. And there's no instruction on what these buttons do. It claims that it is the DPI is adjustable, right? So I assume one of these buttons probably allow you to cycle between the sensitivity or the DPI of the mouse. But it's broken, so there's no way to test those out. And here's the other con. Basically the keyboard. So both the mouse and keyboard are not the best. Basically, you get them for free, but they're kind of a throwaway. So this is their keyboard. I have been a Mac user for the last 10 years, and this is just a big hunk of cheap plastic. The keys are rubbery, and on the case, it said, "Oh, this is a LED powered, LED lit keyboard." Well, the LED basically just lights up the CyberPowerPC logo at the bottom. I mean, their name at the bottom and the logo at the top. That's it, Right, that's the LED lighting. The keys themselves, actually, there's no lighting behind it. Customer service is something that I haven't tested yet, and I will. Actually, last night was Saturday night. I already emailed CyberPowerPC support about the broken mouse. So let me see what they come back with. From what I read on the internet and what I hear on YouTube, their support is kind of non-responsive. So you can call them, you can email them, and then they just don't respond. And let me see how that turns out. But of course, yeah, I mean, if they replace the mouse, great. I'll have it, have it as a backup. But both the mouse and the keyboard are kind of throwaway. So even if they don't respond, yeah, I'm not going to return the unit because there it is returnable. However, you have to pay for the outbound shipping, right? The shipping cost is not refundable, and the shipping cost is $175. Now I don't pay for it; it's free. But if I do return it, I'm pretty sure that I will not get that $175 back. So you're going to take the price of this unit, which is $1,000 minus $175, and of course you have to pay for the shipping back. And they might have restocking fee. I don't know. I didn't look at those details. So yeah, I'm not going to return the computer for these two accessories that are kind of just throwaways. We're now back inside, and the computer is hooked up. Actually, I want to show you, how the LED lights look. In addition, I think I forgot earlier to point out, there are additional ports on top of the display. So there's two USB, there's a mic, there's a headphone jack, and then there is a power switch. So let's turn it on. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. So you have the 3 fans in the front, and you have the 1 fan in the rear, and they all light up. It does come with this remote control. This is probably pretty typical now for the PC. I do see quite a bit of units having the LED fans, but coming from Mac, they didn't have this, so it's kind of a novelty for me. Yeah, so you can cycle the fans on and off. You can change the brightness. I won't show it now because it's kind of bright out. It's hard to see the difference between bright versus dimmer. And you can select the color that you like. And you can also go into auto mode where it just kind of rotates and cycles through the different colors. Okay, let's summarize the pros and cons of this unit. First off, the unit is pre-built and is readily available. So basically, after I ordered, the next day it shipped, and the day after I received it. So it only took 2.5 days after I ordered that I received. Right now there is a worldwide IC shortage. That's IC, integrated circuit or semiconductor. And I think also due to COVID, there's a lot of people at home, and they need to spend time, right, at home. So they're buying up these computer units. So a lot of the competing companies, I go to their website, and maybe like 9 out of 10 units are actually not available. And if you do a custom build, the turnaround is about 4 to 6 weeks. So that's quite long. And this unit is already pre-built and is available. The second one is, I think, is a good value. If I add up all the components individually, it actually cost me $960 if I try to buy the components individually. Now, that is a theoretical number, assuming I can buy the components. The question is the graphics card. So for this particular graphics card, there's a list price of like $220 to $250, but it's actually not available. And you're looking at $500 to $800 to actually buy this graphics card. And I see the similar thing with other graphics card. I bought this unit for $1,000. So yeah, just a little bit more than if I put everything together myself, and that doesn't even include the Windows 10. I think the reason is that CyberPowerPC and other manufacturers, they buy in bulk, so they actually can get a significant discount on their components. And of course, on top of that, they need to add their labor and overhead, and of course their profit margin. But still, I think the discount they get on the components at the end, I should get a pretty good value. The components are actually decent. So, on the CyberPowerPC website, it actually doesn't list the details of the components, like who makes it and what are the specifications. And I was a little bit concerned, like, you're going to, I'll get the slower speed or the crappiest components. So, for instance, the SSD, there are different speed for the SSD, and the one I got actually, it has a fast write and read speed. And for the graphics card, I was concerned it's going to be like a cheaper model with like a single fan, but he actually, it's like a kind of a retail unit with two fans, so that's a plus. And the third item is there's a plenty of external ports like USB ports, audio jacks, and so forth. Well, let's talk about the cons. So the first off, in the buying process, there's just a lack of detailed specification. I mentioned earlier, they kind of list kind of a general spec, right? But you actually don't know the details. Like for SSD, it's just a size. You don't know how fast it is. And another one kind of related is a lack of documentation. So when you buy the components retail, you can actually get those documents, right? Like in this case, a motherboard is made by ASRock. However, it's kind of specifically built for cyber power PC. So you don't know, what are the detailed specifications and what kind of upgrade is available. The third con is kind of the limited space for the upgrades. So like I mentioned earlier, you have two spaces for either 3.5 or 2.5-inch component, and then you have two slots for 2.5-inch component. Then that's it. So you have space for like four components. And the next one is also kind of related. Is that the case does not support like a slot for external drive. So things like optical drive, a DVD player, or a writer, right? Doesn't support that. And the last one, we also talked about this previously. The keyboard and the mouse are basically throwaway. So yeah, they give it to you for free, but you still have to buy another keyboard and mouse if you really want to enjoy your gaming experience. Well, so this is the update for this CyberPower unit. I hope this is helpful. Take care.